Biochemistry has become the foundation for understanding of all biological processes. So biochemistry is important for environment engineers and science professionals because they have to encounter with many bioorganisms, whether it would be water treatment, water analysis, or wastewater treatment, wastewater analysis. So we have to encounter with various kind of a bioorganisms such as bacteria, virus, protozoas. So knowing the chemistry of uh, bioorganisms, it is important. So we should know the basics of the biochemistry. Now, what is biochemistry? Biochemistry actually deals with chemical changes that are brought about by the living organisms. So all chemical changes that are brought about by living organisms such as bacteria, algae, protozoas. So it's called the biochemistry. The reactions in biochemistry, they may be divided into two types: extracellular reactions like hydrolytic reactions, or intracellular reactions like oxidative reactions. Some reactions they takes place outside of the cell, they are called the extracellular reactions, while the reactions that takes in the cell, they are called the intracellular reactions. Now, what is the cell? Cell is actually it's the basic structure, functional and biological unit of all living organisms. Some living organisms they are unicellular while others are multicellular. For example, bacteria they are unicellular organisms, humans we are multicellular organisms. So living organisms, they would have a cell, some may have cell wall around them, some may have only cell membrane, some may have cell wall and then cell membrane, and then there is a material, almost most of that is made up of water, it's called the protoplasm. So it has a nucleus in it, which has genetic code, DNA or RNA. So cell has protoplasm, proteins, nucleic acids. So basically, the cell is the basic fundamental building block of a organism. In multicellular organism, the basic unit it is the cell. Now, on the basis of their nuclei in the cell, we can divide the living organisms cells into two types: prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. Pro means before, karyons mean nucleus, before the nucleus, while eukaryotes are the cells after nucleus, means those cells that don't have well-defined nucleus, they are known as prokaryotes, while the organisms having cells that have well-defined nucleus, they are called the eukaryotes. Uh, we can also understand this thing by using the example of egg. If we uh, break the egg and if the egg yolk is, if we blend it, then it वो वेल डिफाइंड नहीं रहेगी, ठीक है, इट वुड स्प्रेड इन द एग. अगर उसको ब्लेंड नहीं करेंगे तो इट में बी वेल डिफाइंड. सो इन सम ऑर्गेनिजम्स the cells they their nuclei they are well defined while others their nuclei are not well defined. So bacteria they are prokaryotes, their nucleus is not well defined, while the plants, humans, protozoas they are eukaryotes. Classification of biochemical reactions on the basis of temperature. So they can be classified into different types on the basis of the temperature, like psychrophilic, having temperature between 0 to 10 degrees, mesophilic reactions with temperature that occurs in temperature 10 to 40 degrees centigrade, thermophilic that occurs above 40 degrees centigrade, and hyperthermophilic between 65 to 110 degrees centigrade. So biochemical reactions they occur at temperatures with a normal range from 0 to 60. So with respect to the temperature range they occur, these biochemical reactions they may be divided into psychrophilic, mesophilic, thermophilic and hypothermophilic reactions. So student, enzymes they have been defined as temperature sensitive organic catalysts produced by living cells, and they are capable of action outside or inside the cell. So they perform various catalytic processes in the host cells, in or outside the host cells. Their reactions may be extracellular or intracellular enzymes, cells that may perform different functions inside the cell as catalyst or outside the cell. As far as the location of enzymes is concerned, the enzymes they are associated with the protoplasm of the cells, or some of them they may be located in the cell wall or in cell membrane. On the basis of the production type of the base of their production, we can divide into two types: constitutive and the inducible enzymes. The constitutives are the one that are produced continuously, or inducible enzymes are like to be involved when an organism is exposed to an organic it has not been uh, seen before. So they being produced, inducible are being produced on demand. Chemically, enzymes they are proteinous in nature. We know proteins are made up of different amino acid units. So some of them they are made up of with simple proteins, while the other with complex conjugated type of proteins. Just like the chemical catalyst enzymes, they perform as a catalyst. They involved in various reactions, biochemical reactions. So they lower the activation energy, increase the rate of reaction. So this figure shows that without enzyme, uncatalyzed reaction, the reaction rate will be very slow, while in the presence of enzyme, it would be exponentially higher. Now, thermodynamically, if you see that slide, the enzymes, in the presence of enzymes, the activation energy it decreased, and the products they can form at a rapid rate. So this is how the difference is with enzyme or without enzymes. So enzymes actually they provide just like other catalysts an alternate way, an alternate path, an easier path, require less energy to form products. Now let's see some type of chemical reactions that encountered in the biochemical processes. Nucleophilic substitution reactions in which one atom of a group substituted to another. They may be nucleophilic unimolecular reactions or nucleophilic bimolecular reactions. The mechanism may be different. Then the elimination reactions in which the double bond is formed when atoms in a molecule is removed. Then addition reactions in which two molecules combine to form a single product. Then hydration reactions. These reactions they involve the water. For example, the water being added to alkenes, alcohols. They are examples of hydration reactions. Then isomerization reactions, from its name obviously it is clear it involves the intramolecular shift of atoms or groups. And oxidation reduction reactions occurs when there is a transfer of electrons from a donor to an electron acceptor. Then hydrolysis reactions, so cleavage of double bond by water. So hydrolysis involves the water. So these are now students when we discuss about the chemical reactions, biochemical reactions in the living organisms, there is a term that being frequently involved. It's called the metabolism. So what's the metabolism? It is actually the total sum of chemical reactions that takes place in a living organism. So sum of all chemical reactions, total number of chemical reactions, sum of chemical reactions that takes place in a living organism, they are known as metabolism. They are highly coordinated and purposeful activity. So this metabolism it can be further divided into two classes: anabolism and catabolism. So anabolism is the one in which the energy requiring biosynthetic pathways, while in case of catabolism the degradation of fuel molecules and production of energy for cellular function takes place. So anabolism involves the biosynthetic pathways, uh, while catabolism involves the degradation of fuel molecules. Then all reactions we know they are catalyzed by enzymes. The primary functions of the metabolism are existing and utilization of energy, synthesis of molecules needed for cell structure and functioning, such as proteins, nucleic acids, lipids, etc., removal of waste products. Okay, thanks a lot, student. This is all about today's lecture.